Hello everyone and welcome back to create Ultimation. Continuing where we left last episode, I am still pumping lava. I needed to move hose pulley a few times since I couldn't find a big enough lava pool to count as infinite. After finishing that side quest, all fluid components got their own toolbox. Plan is simple yet mysterious. First we're off to Slime Island to gather resources. I used coal block compacting to get diamonds. Coal is also compacting recipe with 2 pieces of charcoal as an input. I will need additional durability on my tools, so using my newfound wealth, I got a shiny new pickaxe and a mattock. Stone is easy to get, so with diamond upgrade on my new tools I can let my cobalt pick go. Then I got new fun setup for easy hunting. Here is my biggest regret. Not getting beetroots from trader. This will cost me 4 hours further down the line, which I spent caving to loot mob spawners. After a lot of uranium processing to gather blaze dust, I am able to grab few stacks of nether grout. I will need foundry to separate raw ores in few cases and also get alloys without the need for smeltery. First alloy will be rose gold. With it I can craft Tinker's Anvil. Fun change is that anvils can't be crafted with basic metals and you need to use an alloy. You can see me building the most basic foundry. This will be enough for now. To combat loneliness I brought home a pair of ships. Then a little storage upgrade. I think that recipe using only iron around the barrel is a mistake, so I chose the one using compact mechanisms. To feed my pets, food is in order, so behind the foundry I built a wheat farm. To keep up appearances, I chose hidden lighting. With all that wool I got string which I used to craft silk touch for my pickaxe. This then leads me to melt nether quartz ore in a foundry to get side product of amethyst. Following the quest book I am required to find amethyst geode, but I chose different approach since I did not find geode until this point. Quick look at the quest book later. I know I will need tons of lava for copper and zinc automation, so putting my 10k fluid drawer to use, I decided on otherworld lava pool. This design is 17 by 17, so it fits in a single chunk, and needs to be at least 52 blocks deep. With the help of building wand, outer wall construction was nearly therapeutic. After a long day of digging, I needed a rest. Following that, I took a schematic of my cobble generator to get some deep slate. Before we were able to move drilling setup, I needed to protect my chicken. See you in few hundred days. Thanks to schematic canon, deep slate automation is finished. There are lots of settings, but skip missing blocks is the most important. Deep slate generation requires Y level below 0. At this point, canon is becoming most essential tool, but we'll come back to it in a few. Hot water mixing for zinc is great and will be enough for about 13 minutes. I simply wanted to use village well and to try out drawer upgrades. For my lava tank, I have really fun design mimicking creates fluid tank, so I will need more copper. Instead of mining for 20 minutes, I chose ore milling setup, which if I knew is self-sufficient on experience, I could probably use in first chapter. This would require some tweaks as I didn't have access to electron tubes then, but takeaway from this design is a sideways chute feeding mixing setup. This is a scaled down ore multiplication contraption shown later. For output I chose compacting drawers due to capacity and flexibility when taking out the items. Because from now on I will need to walk on belts more and more, I picked up a pair of diving boots. They allow player to be unaffected by belts. Towards the front of milling setup, I place down mixing setup. One ore nugget with deep slate mixed together in lava will give us respective ore block, essentially multiplying basic metal ingots like copper, zinc, iron and gold. With all that copper I can begin construction for my big lava tank. When designing it, I thought it would be higher, so I needed to tweak it a bit. Some copper will oxidize over time, giving nice balance between orange and green. When constructing the bottom I used some wood, so I leaked good chunk of lava to the cave below where my deep slate miner is. Oops. This sound indicates that lava pool is at 10,000 blocks threshold. To combat this I chose fill infinite as an option. This is better from visual standpoint, and also artificial lava pool can sometimes suck in few source blocks, making bottomless supply not viable. When lava pool is filled to a desired level, pumps no longer void extra lava or create weird bucket sounds. After putting a cap on our tank, we can finally circle back to amethyst processing. Each chain requires 4-step spouting sequence. Easiest to achieve with 16 spouts on a circular belt. To make water pumping easier, I decided to craft few precision mechanisms by hand. 2 electron tubes deployed on a primitive mechanism, and flooded with molten brass. Then 3 water pumps I intend on running at max speed, with rotation controller to make rotation adjustment really easy. Because of access to precision mechanisms, I can easily gear up large water wheels for independent powering of smaller setups. Don't worry, steam boiler is coming. With water input connected, I can turn up my controller to maximum. In this case I go up to 128 RPM, because it is later geared up once more with big to small cogwheel transition. After filling the hole back in, I can finally process some amethyst shards. I put it through spout line in small increments, so I can confirm transition to small bat, medium bat, large bat, and finally back to amethyst cluster. Now to close the loop, I need to process my clusters back to shards. For now I chose simple millstone and might change it to crushing wheels if I need better ratio. To filter out amethyst clusters, I picked a locked drawer. Crushing step will loop back around to the small bit of belt behind the drawer. With some tweaks I can present version 1.0. This doesn't work since I would need to place one more tunnel to the left. I chose different approach and moved the tunnels back a bit. With all that done, I can confirm this setup is working great. This doesn't deadlock when drawers are full. Now we need red dye to mix it with amethyst shards. Unfortunately, quest requires us getting beetroots. After a few hours spent caving, I found them in monster room. Here I confirmed few ore quests since I will have them automated soon enough. For beetroot farm, I chose simple 9x9 rotating farm with belt output to some drawers. After that, I can finally begin construction on my power plant. I chose simple diorite design with intricate roof. To get lava inside, I just needed a pump with intermediate fluid tank for intake monitoring. Pumps have 16 block of push-pull range, so this is great at making this setup clean. With power generation nearly sorted, I decided to go ahead and get some mechanical crafters. They can be connected on the backside. This design with cross in the middle is a classic of mine. Later it is shown how easy it is to use. This tank will be my future boiler. I went for 3x3x4, so max level without superheating. To power my lava intake pumps, I decided on vertical wind turbine design I found online. It uses wool as sail blocks and gives off enough power to use 2 max speed pumps. I think that using functional designs instead of rows of water wheels really gives this room some character. Forget about the floor. This is all work in progress. Water input runs on independent power line to avoid water shortages. I went with 3 steam engines for now, even though I could use only one, but I thought that progress would be a bit faster. With that done, I went for deep slate finish for burner basement. Crafter configuration is easy, all arrows must point towards one output. For now, crafter is powered from big boiler, but I didn't know I wouldn't like it in few hours. Despite not having complete roof, I wanted to put few small decorations on this power line. Now the crafting step. I put wood in small section, replace the middle one with stone and surround it with andesite alloy. For now I went with only 24 crushing wheels. With power plant in place, I can begin construction on modular or duplication plant. Schematic cannon works wonders here, feeding off my toolboxes and the chest. After a bit of plumbing, I can go ahead and plug in 64 RPMs as an input. This design is modpack specific, so it won't work for Vanilla Create. I need to change filters on drawer and basin output to match metal with its ore block variant. The only outside inputs are deep slate in an upwards wind tunnel and lava being fed through the middle pipe. With that I can check off copper automation completely. And while rewards are tempting, I decided to wait until I actually finished mechanism automation. Now it is time to rescue deep slate and mining contraption from the lava flooded underground. That marks the end of lifetime for this setup. I got over 4000 deep slate, which is enough to get a stack of every metal block and last me until I can get surface production for this material. There will be a lot of building ahead, so I decided to get Extendo Grip. This tool increases block reach, but needs back tank to function. Boiler is finished, missing only burners. From this trader, I got both cactus and packed ice. Now it is time to build second story to my tower of resource duplication. Look how extended range helps with building. This one is a must for me. I finally decided to get blaze burners the normal way. There wasn't much fighting, since I captured those who tried to ambush me and took the rest directly from spawner. Each burner gets its own straw made out of bamboo. This is way easier than feeding them coal or lava buckets using mechanical arm. With second story connected to power and iron duplicating, I forgot to place those blocks so that all experience nuggets go to one central point to be turned into liquid experience. In the meantime, I started on sugarcane plantation. First story is made for zinc duplication. Ouch. And fourth for gold. All basic resources done. Now I can build power poles to transfer rotation long distances. Floor for my plant. While we're at it, back wall is finished, and Crafter got its own campfire powered water boiler. Now this is cheap, but covering shafts doesn't cost casings, so this might be a good hack when incorporating high-end train casings into your designs. This little basement stores my red dye. After those finishing touches, I'm ready to cover my shiny new floor with bookshelves. I also moved a small boiler to the left, so pillar is visible. After getting protection and unbreaking for my boots and the same for my helmet, experience is of course sourced by eating extra experience nuggets from my ore farm, I tried to get good enchants on my back tank, hoping on capacity 3 and regular protection. After failing several times, I picked up a pair of leggings to reset enchants, and finally got some semi-decent upgrades. With that, I extended power poles to my future mechanism factory. Belts are cheap alternative to shafts when transferring a SU long distance, and this doesn't look half bad. Rotation is matched for aesthetics, and I also tried few different designs for pole. Now I can rebuild chapter 1 design with split at the end to future-proof this design. First iteration had slower saw, so this might have been the limiting factor, but with two of them I can hope that non-stop stream of mechanisms will flow through in just a bit. After getting this setup up to speed, I forgot to place extra burners, and they've been sitting in my backpack. In the end, it's good that my back tank has fire protection, otherwise Steve might burn himself. With extra burners come extra steam engines. This is now officially max capacity boiler, and I hope I don't need to build extension to my power plant next episode. Precision mechanism assembly gets 1-3 split due to spouts being slow. This will create inequality in liquid distribution, but I will manage. Liquid brass will be acquired from small smeltery directly under the floor, with a feeding mechanism accessible from ground level. Lava is stolen off my main power line at slow speed, provided by water wheels. There needs to be a pump every 20 or so blocks for it to function. Grand trial for this contraption, and I hope that 3 spouts isn't too much, but bigger is always better, except when you need to pay. With that automation finally complete, we're done with chapter 2. All the rewards get their own toolbox painted yellow. Time to update our processing page with our new toys, like Crashing Wheels and Silk Touch, and we're off to chapter 2A. Millstone wall is unnecessary visual clutter, so it's gone. New quotes base means new opportunities, so stone and stone processing products get their own wall. Having access to redstone mechanisms, we can craft mechanical extruder to first get andesite and second process cobblestone down to redstone. Redstone we will need to automate to finish chapter 2A, so first let's get few of those mechanisms and let's get to building. As mentioned before, 2 extruders, one to provide andesite and second for regular cobblestone. Cobble is then crushed 2 times for sand. As a side note, those mechanical wheels being powered with 3 cogs is just something different. Then sand is cooked to red sand, then crushed once again for redstone at 1:1 conversion rate. Before tunnel, I placed down smart chute to filter out flint and clay byproducts. Chapter 2B starts with big rotating dual farm. First level is used for sugarcane, and second for cocoa beans. I of course needed to make them circular. Jungle log spacing on the second level ensures the most compact arrangement, providing us with maximum planting space. Output of this farm is routed onto belt, then separated 2 ways. Sugarcane goes into millstone to be crushed into sugar, and cocoa beans go directly to basin. I also decided on an overflow barrel for sugar, but this won't be needed after tweaking this contraption's product input. Mixer has 2 pipes connected for output and input, and 1 more for blaze burner lava intake, so despite it being chocolate factory, this gives off savory Italian dish vibes. 1 pipe will be used for milk. Deployer is filtered to filled buckets, which then get drained and go back to deployer for further filling. Cow is then situated in its eternal milking prison, with harsh blue light coming from above. With all ingredients ready, chocolate mixing has started. I use fluid drawer for storage. Because I see that milk input is a bit too slow, I added additional water wheel. Or should I say chocolate wheel. Farm output isn't balanced, so I decided on a remodel. Second belt is added with smart funnels as a filtering mechanism. This will allow extra items to despawn. Now we need to mix precision mechanism with chocolate to get tasty mechanism and finish this chapter. Tasty mechanisms provide great saturation, but I will store those in a chest and continue with my high-carb diet consisting of bread. We now have access to simple storage, but this is expensive and limited. With that, we can start on thermal age, with even more unusual contraptions available. But this needs to wait until next episode. Thank you for following along, and I hope to see you in a bit. Till the next time, bye bye.